All right, legends, let's kick this thing off. How is everyone? I'm just going to plug this GoPro in, so bear with me. All right, there we go. How is my stream's delayed a little bit. Still Wood, how are ya? Wooden things and stuff, g'day. My wife did tell me that you commented on the other stream, man. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to figure out how to get it like, you know, so YouTube tells people that we are going live, but it doesn't seem to work. Every time I leave it just sitting there and then I go to connect, it just plays up and doesn't work. So yeah, you move this fence out of the way now. I just needed somewhere that said J&D Creations. Mind Creations, how are ya? You look cold. Yeah, mate, it is a bit chilly. It is a bit chilly. I had to cut a hole in the back of my beanie to get my hair through so that I can actually wear this damn thing. But no, I mean, it's starting to warm up a little bit, but especially in here. Huh, that's interesting. Anyway, especially in here, it is quite cold. I've just realized I got like a manhole cover over in the corner. I don't know if you'll be able to see from here. You can sort of see just up there. But I normally leave it off because the wind sort of gets over that door and makes it flutter around and shit. But it's actually broken and it's like blown down. That's how much wind we've had through here. That, you know, the doors always stays closed here. But it's got enough to actually throw that off and chip the edge. So I'll have to fix that up. It's been pretty brutal weather here. Like the last week, it's either been pouring rain or it's been freezing cold. So, but it's cool. I'm on my deck with a beer and my neighbor is pumping some Sweet Caroline. Not bad, just finished work. That's awesome. I actually feel super tired today. I don't know why. It's the first sleeping I've had in like forever, but I am feeling super, super tired. We're in another damn heat wave, not as bad as the last one, but it hit like 38 today. Shit, man, 38 degrees. Oh, what happened there? That's pretty brutal, isn't it? 38 degrees. That's sort of our summers. Like, I'm not a fan of summer. I much prefer winter. Much prefer winter. It's way better. Way better. I just upgraded yesterday, bought myself a MacBook Pro, which I'm super excited about because I've been editing all my videos thus far on the channel on like a 2000. I keep pressing buttons though, apparently. On like a 2013 iMac that I've upgraded the RAM on, but yeah, she's a bit slow with the old editing. So I just picked this MacBook up yesterday, having a bit of a play with it. Yeah, it's proven good so far. I haven't done any editing on it, but it's got the M1 chip in it, so I'm super excited to try it out and see how it goes. I'm going to do, hopefully do a little bit of filming today for my next video. I'm also going to put out my entry into the Woodjigs 21 challenge today. Steel Wood, you can keep your winter. Yeah, man, I wish I could, eh? I want to move to Tassie because I reckon that'll be cold most of the year. Ideally, like, send me to the North Pole any day of the year. And any time. I'd move there. Most definitely. I fucking hate summer. Excuse the swearing. YouTube, don't pay any attention. You know what? Funnily enough, though, when I opened this stream, it didn't come up with all the normal the checklist that it normally makes me fill out, which is a bit odd, isn't it? So let's have a play around here. So what's everyone been up to? It's been a week. I have not been in the shop again. I've been real focused on TikTok, to be honest with you. It's been taking up quite a bit of time for me. Oh, how do you delete old lives? There's one that says upcoming that just needs to be deleted. Anyway, yeah, so I spent last weekend, I think it was Sunday? Yeah, Sunday, shooting some TikTok specific content. So if you don't follow me on TikTok, head on over there. But it was part of this like TikTok challenge thing that they invited me to participate in. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. The videos didn't do too well though. But yeah. What was your first video on your YouTube channel? Oh, steel wood. How terrible was it, mate? How terrible was it? Demonetized. Yes, Mike. I will be demonetized, I'm sure. Although I just learned, I don't know if anyone's seen my Instagram stories, but I've just learned that you can get Instagram to like censor you, like put the little bleep in for the swearing, which is going to make life a lot easier. A lot easier. So guys, what have you all been up to this week? Have you been in the shop? Have you been building? What has been happening? Fill me in, let me know. And if you are here, smash that like button. Smash that like button so that we can get the likes equal with the viewers. You looked sad. I looked sad in my first video, did I? That was probably because that one little lonely light bulb up there was all I had running. That one little lonely light bulb. Now I've installed like fluorescent lights and I've got LED lights over. Well, these are LED fluorescents, but LEDs over there. But that was it. That was what I started my channel with, running that one little light. So the lighting was shit. I probably was sad too because I had no idea what I was doing. I assume you're talking about the shop setup video, eh? I haven't pulled the trigger on TikTok yet. Maybe next week. Mike, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? You got to pull that trigger. Get on there. Like you were being forced to be there. I will have to re-watch it. Funnily enough, when I started YouTube, I started with the intention of making sure that I was energetic and speaking clearly and just bringing some charisma to it, which I know that I really failed with to begin with. But it's quite interesting to look at that and think that at that stage, I thought I was comfortable doing it. So it is amazing how things change like that. It really, really is. All right, I'm just gonna share the link over. I'm gonna need a photo though. That's one thing that annoys me with Instagram. You need a photo for every post. Let's just get that one. I'm in a shop funk, still stagnating on the lathe tool cabinet, no enthusiasm. Don't know what's up, made a few pens just to be making something, but wasn't feeling it. Maybe the problem is you made some pens, man. I found them super frustrating for my last video. Yeah, I think, to be honest with you, I think I'm in a bit of a rut like that myself. I've certainly been deeper, but I feel like I'm starting to sort of go into that, like, exactly what you're sort of talking about. Like, I want to get out and make something, but then I'm just like, I can't really be bothered. Like, so I'm trying my hardest to fight through that. We'll get these lives happening. I think I'm enjoying these lives really as well. You know, like it's a lot easier to do. Let me just do this post, guys. Share this link and then see if we can get some more legends over here. Maybe we should tag a bunch of people too, eh? Let's go. Custom creations, Infinity orders. yeah, I don't know, maybe if we tag a bunch of people, we might boost things up. You are those things now. Thanks, man, I appreciate that. I do put that effort in now. Like, it's, yeah, I know, YouTube's got to be entertaining. If you want people to hang around, your videos have to be entertaining. Like, you have to draw people in. So I do put a lot of effort into that. Justin, how are you, man? How are you? You should start doing live builds where you just tinker. I think we are all in that rut at the moment. Betty, yeah, we discussed that actually on the last live. And I said I'm happy to do that, but pretty much everyone, well, lots of people commented on saying that they prefer we just talk and, you know, hang out and that sort of thing. So I'm more than happy to build stuff. I was considering doing that today, but then, yeah, last live, people were more like, oh, we enjoy the chats, we enjoy the chats. So I still haven't finished this post. All right. Share that, see if we can get some more legends over here. I actually enjoy pens, quick win, but I need something new to light a spark or something. Maybe the resin stuff will get me jazzed. Man, I started doing that. I don't know if you saw my 100th build video, but I started doing 8 pens and I only ended up with 4. So I don't know if I call that a quick win. In the video I watched, your son was trying to get your attention. It was quite funny and fast forward. Yeah, when I was bringing everything in from the car. Yeah, he does make a guest appearance in a few of my videos as the time goes on. I think my favorite appearance of his is when I made the skull chair. He just like randomly runs from this side of the shop through the back, like right in the middle of me doing like the intro part, and my God, he just sounded like a little turkey, just running through. It was hilarious. So go and check that out if you haven't seen that one. It's a good laugh. I like doing lives too. It gives me a good jolt. Yeah, man, it does. It does. I'm trying to, yeah. I mean, the way I run it, I can only run it with one camera, but I think it'd be pretty cool if I could set up a few cameras and like switch between them and that. But I know that I'd have to use like software and that to do it, and it just complicates the process. But, because yeah, I was thinking about doing like a resin pour today, but then, you know, I'm sorry, my eye's playing up today, eh? It's really, really annoying me. But, I'd have to constantly move the camera around, make sure you guys are in the shot, and it's, yeah, makes it a bit harder. Talk is good, but showing stuff is good too, though I'm not into turning. Bandsaw resawing, you have the machine for it. Yes, I certainly do. I did do a live stream a while ago. Oh, maybe that was a Facebook one that I did, yeah, where I was doing some bandsaw work and then we poured a resin serving board. Is your pen ratio usually only 50%? I only break about 1 in 10, I think. Maybe I'm just lucky. Bloody hell, man, 1 in 10, that's good. That means you've got like 90% success rate. That's wicked. What do you use though? Are you using timber or resin blanks? Because I actually find that the resin blanks are harder because when you're turning them, they soften up. So that's when they tend to fall apart. So yeah, that's a bit annoying. It is a bit annoying. What do we got here? Oh. Right. So yeah, we've got the new MacBook. It's going to need lots of playing around with this to see if it's capable of doing what I'm hoping that it will do. Fingers crossed it all pans out though. I'm excited to have a laptop to do my editing because it just means I can be a lot more mobile with it. You know, I've got I've probably said it a couple times on these lives, but I've got a plan for a series that I want to do on this channel. And it's like a indefinite series. So it could be a 5-parter, it could be a 100-parter. It could just go, basically. But the laptop is well, it's not essential for the series, but it's going to make the series a lot easier. There's a couple more things I've got to procure first though, before I can start the series, because it won't actually be in my shop. And that's the beauty of the series, is that I haven't ever seen it. I haven't seen any of the channels, like any of the ones I follow anyway, or that I've seen, I haven't seen anyone doing it. So I'm really excited to get that off the ground, but unfortunately I need a few thousand more dollars to procure all the bits and pieces I need to get it started. But this was the first major investment to make editing a lot easier. Wood is for sure easier with pens. I like making wood pens over resin, but people love the resin look because it's customizable. Yeah, that's very true. I mean, I personally like the mix, like the hybrid mix. They're my favorite pens, is where especially when you make the blanks yourself. Like the blanks they sell at Carbatec are cool, but when I sell them, I market them as my lower price point ones. I much prefer a combination, but timber pens are wicked too. There's something about them, they're just really quite nice. All right, so we've got the likes and that even. Where is everyone today, hey? Kicked off a little bit early. Mostly wood, but a fan sent me some resin stabilized blanks for me to play with, and I'm 5 in and haven't had a failure yet. Gonna pour blanks when I get playing with it. Should I expect to break more? Well, basically, man, the slower you turn with resin, the better. But yeah, so if you drill out like a 7mm hole and then you turn your outside diameter to like, well, realistically, you'd only go to a maximum of like 9-10 mil. You don't have much wall space, like the walls aren't that thick on the pen. So yeah, once, you know, you get your skew or whatever you're using to sort of, scrape it off at the end there, it generates so much heat that resin actually turns like rubbery. Like if you go back, Mike, and have a look at my, the project where I made my own dread beads, it happens in that. It's the exact same theory. You're drilling a hole in the middle and yeah, the resin just gets hot, it turns rubbery, and then instead of cutting on your chisel, it grabs and it tears. And then you get a huge chunk taken off. Let me see, I might have the pieces actually left over. So this was a big shame, because this is like my favorite blank that Carbatec sell. I call it like the Superman blank because it's got the blue and yellow and red in it. But you can see that there, right? That's, is that in focus? I hope it's in focus. But that's actually a tear. So what happened was you can see how thick it is. It's realistically only about 1 mil thick. And so as I was coming over it with the skew, sort of scraping it down, it's got rubberized and it's dug in. Instead of cutting, it's actually caught and the lathe spun and it's torn it off. And there's not much you can do to really save that now, which is a bit of a shame. Carbatec has a new line of pens coming. Oh, steel wood. What's yeah, fill us in a bit more on that. What sort of pens? Maybe everyone's waiting over on the other one as I was. Yeah, that could be the case, Mike. Let me jump on over and see if I can rectify this issue. See if I can delete that other one. Yeah, live. All right, Mike, so I've just deleted that other one there. So fingers crossed that works if anyone is over there. But knowing YouTube, it'll take bloody forever. How odd, right? So I got this notification that my video received a copyright claim, and it's a super old video with like no views on it. So it's a bit like, what the hell? It's only got like 80 views on it. It's like 2 years old, but it's for a song, but all the music that I've used, I'm allowed to use. I've credited the music and it's been downloaded from a source that's all you have to do to use it, is credit in your description. So I'm just like, what the hell? Why have I got a copyright strike for that? It doesn't really make any sense to me. Or maybe people just don't like you anymore. That's very plausible, Mike. That is you hit the nail on the head there. That is probably what has happened. People are sick and tired of me talking. I had a comment on one of my bloody reviews the other day. I can't even remember which one it was. Oh, I think it was for my Bosch sander. And it literally was like, too much chat. And I was like, are you kidding? Like, it's a review. Like, that's what you do in a review. You talk about the product. How ridiculous, like, what a ridiculous comment. Yes, there's a lot of times I bite my tongue when I'm replying to comments, but just, yeah, stupid things people on the internet say. All right, one video successfully deleted. So Mike, we should be safe now. There shouldn't be people over there. This one here though, let's just quickly edit these video details and put this into live streams. There we go. Mike, what do you use the tag section for? Like, what do you put on your videos as the tags? Be interested to know that. I can't find the info about the pens. That's all good, man. That's all good. I'm sure it'll pop up eventually. I went into Carbatec yesterday. I'm contemplating buying one of the Triton routers, but I just bought this bloody laptop. So I went to Carbatec before I bought this laptop yesterday. So I was like, I know I'm about to dump a bunch of money on a laptop, so I don't really want to also buy a router. They had one sitting there. So it was very tempting. But yeah. So, who here on has worked with Resin? If you've worked with Resin, let me know in the comments that you have. Because I'm thinking about doing, and I know it's been done before, but I'm thinking about doing 5 tips to pour like perfect resin. And the reason I'm thinking about doing it is A, because all the ones I've seen generally are like from people like John Malecki. I love John's content, but he's worlds ahead of where I am in the terms of the money, the sponsorships, all that sort of stuff. So I was thinking of aiming this more towards like beginners, 5 top tips when you're just starting out. So things like, you know, using cheaper materials and stuff like that. So what would be your top tip for working with resin? If you get a bad email or review, leave it a day or so before responding. You'll calm down and write a logical response. Yeah, still would. I probably wouldn't though. I'd probably just simmer over it until I replied. But no, I think I've done pretty well. Yeah, I've had a few hate comments come through, a few hate messages and that. I think I've dealt with them pretty well. I get so many stupid comments like, I hate the ads and talk less, when I'm literally doing a review or instruction. Yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it? Like, what are you meant to do? Justin, yeah, Justin, so what would be your top tip? And still what would be your #1 tip for someone who, all right, someone like Mike, right, who's never used resin before? What would be the first tip that you would give them? Are you planning on using the router handheld or in a table? Probably majority handheld, and for like a router sled. Like I want to make a router sled so that I can flatten, like I got a bunch of slabs back there that I want to make coffee tables and that out of, so I want to be able to flatten them out. So that's predominantly what I would use. I've got, in terms of like a router table, I've got that like mini spindle molder thing there that I use. So maybe down the line, like I would turn it into a router table kind of attach tool, but to begin with, it'd be, yeah, handheld and for a sled mainly. Well, mainly for a sled, because I do have this, my little trim router that I use for handheld stuff. I don't use many tags, just stuff that isn't in the video title that people might search, woodworking, DIY, make, lathe, that kind of thing. Yeah, righto. I've been simmering over an email my brother sent to me 2 days ago. I'm still figuring out what to say. Oh mate, if it's your brother, just go nuts. I'd love a beginner guide to resin. Yeah, wicked Mike. Well, yeah, I'm thinking 5 top tips to pour like perfect resin for the first time. That sort of theme. Yeah, just with like the stuff I do, obviously, like I've been pouring resin for like 3 years, so I have learnt a lot along the way, because there's a lot of, oh, my eye is still playing up. There's a lot of information out there that I find not necessarily inaccurate, but irrelevant. Like, you know, I've seen guys out there that comment, oh, you can't pour resin if the temperature's not perfect. Like, you can still pour it, it's just gonna cure differently, so you need to accommodate for that. So just things like that, but obviously that's probably a little bit too technical for beginner stuff. But yeah, wondering what sort of info, Mike, what info would you like tips around mixing, or tips around how to make a mold, or, you know, what would you like to see? All right, so Penn State, is that the new pens there? My first top tip would be mixing well, and depending on what pigment you are using, depends on how much you have to mix, because alcohol ink would mix faster, but powders take more time. Very true, very true. So I brought a pen and paper today so I can write the things down that you guys say. So I am gonna put that in there, mixing in pigments. Because not all powders are equal either. Like, I find the eye candy pigments to be the absolute best pigments I've ever used, because they don't require much mixing. Whereas the, what were the ones I used to use? Well, I still use them occasionally. I've got them in there. I'm having a mental blank. I cannot think what they're called. But they get very clumpy. Like, it takes a lot of work, and even if you mix them for a long time, you do the pour, you'll still have like clumps of pigment float to the top. So the big Makita router goes well for flattening slabs. I regularly use it on hardwood and it goes hard. Betty, what router bit do you use? Have you got a flattening bit? 1, start off with a small project. 2, have everything prepared before starting a project. Yeah, so we can do a molds, mixing thicknesses. So I might do a list actually separately. So we'll do, before the tips, list of needs. We'll do a list of needs first. And then mixing of 2 parts is important. Yeah, see, and that's another thing. Like, I find a lot of people will say you have to get it down to the absolute microgram to get a, you know, otherwise it won't cure. And I find that very inaccurate as well. Like, especially with the resin I use, I mean, I do my best to get it absolutely down to the gram, but quite often a big chunk of air will fly into the bottle and it'll spit out more hardener than I wanted, but it still cures all right. So, I only brought 2-inch deep pour epoxy. The deep pour stuff was way too much money for a first purchase. Yeah, that's true. So that's probably a good tip as well, is which epoxy to use. Because to be honest, Mike, I've got stuff that dictates a 2-inch pour, right? And I've poured 7 inches deep with it without issue. So environment is a big thing. And what you're doing with it is a big thing. The overall volume that you're using. Like the depth is very important, but the overall volume has to be taken into account as well. Dreadnought, how are you, man? How you doing? What's happening? Your end of the world. Measure by weight rather by volume. You will get a better result with the ratio. Yep, I do all my measurements by weight. Daryl's here. Yes, Daryl is here. Chili Man, how you doing? Look, everyone's coming over now. Chili Man, how are ya? Listening while driving, you legend. Stop typing. Yes, stop typing if you're driving, man. The Resin Carbatec cells has a 2-to-1 ratio by volume, but a 1 to 0.43 or 0.88 ratio by weight. Really? I think you'll find, I don't know, but I swear one of the ones from Carbatec actually had a 3-to-1 ratio. I always do by weight though, and I never bother with the 0.43 or 0.88 type of stuff. Yeah, so that's the perfect cast by Carbatec. I always did that by weight, and yeah, either 2-to-1 or 3-to-1, depending on which one I was using. I also use a mousse, and they go clumpy as well. Yeah, righto, that's interesting that the mousse goes clumpy. Lol, Mike, I'm in drive-thru at the moment getting lunch because I'm helping my mate move house. Oh, chili, stay away from the bad food, mate. Just find the biggest quality bit you can find. I think my bit is around 70 millimeters from memory. Got it from Timbercon. Yeah, righto. Yeah, I'll probably look at buying mine online. I've seen some really, really killer ones. Like, yeah, they're huge. But I suppose 70 mil is actually quite a decent bit, really, isn't it? Yeah, actually, that is quite large. I'll have to start looking. Cool beanie. Cheers, man. I had to cut a hole in it so that my dreads could come out the back. I have one at the moment. I was going to drill it yesterday, but was still soft. I found they still harden, but takes longer. It looks wicked. Can I send a picture to you on socials? Yeah, man, definitely. Send a picture through, for sure. For sure. Dreadnought doing good. That's good, man. I hope you're feeling better. Hope that Delta is pissed off now. Damn, I need a scale, but good to hear 2-inch pour can go deeper even without pressure pot or vacuum chamber. No, pressure pot, Mike. Pressure pot, pressure pot, pressure pot, pressure pot. Get a pressure pot. You need it if you're going to cast. 100%. 100% need it if you're going to cast. If you want to see what I'm talking about, go back into my videos and have a look at my Easter egg display. I reckon it's like way early days, like within the first 15 videos, I think. Easter egg display. I did a pour in there without a pressure pot. It's riddled with bubbles. Riddled with bubbles. You need a pressure pot. They're only like $100 Aussie on eBay. I don't know what they'd be for you. You can probably buy them locally. You guys have everything over there. But get a pressure pot. Like that 7-inch pour I did was in a pressure pot. And when you're doing extremes like that, the pressure pot really helps because that air is super cold. So it reduces the temperature, and that's how you get away with it a lot of the time. Especially if you're having heat waves, like I wouldn't really be pouring deeper than specification in your current climate, but definitely worth getting a pressure pot. Not only for like clarity, but also for the quality. Like if you start making pen blanks and that, like hybrid pen blanks, that pressure pot is going to force that resin into the timber in every nook and cranny that it can, as deep as it can, which is going to give you a stronger bond at the end of the day. 3-to-1 ratio is the West System special coating. No, I'm sure one of the perfect casters, I'm sure, is a 3-to-1 ratio as well, because we did some pours in store. Did you get a new computer? Yes, I did. This is my new, I've already said it a few times, man. So, but yes, this is my new MacBook, which I am super stoked with. Got it yesterday, got the M1 chip in it. So I'm hoping that that is gonna make video editing a lot more pleasurable for me. Actually, there's a little Easter egg in my 100th build video that no one picked up on yet. I don't know if you've seen it, Dreadnought, but I reckon you'll pick up on it. But, so I won't say what it is, but it was a task in editing that should have taken me max 10 minutes, and it took over an hour because my computer, my old computer just couldn't deal with it. So I'm super stoked to have this, and I really hope that it can live up to my expectations. Boo for having to buy more things. Mike, it's always the way. You buy something and then you need to buy more. Look, man, you can certainly give it a go. You can learn from your own mistakes if you want to, but I would just straight out the bat, just go and buy one. Like they're not that expensive. You get them off, like I got mine off eBay. It takes a bit of hunting. You've got to make sure that you get it rated to the right pressure. So mine's rated to 80 PSI because I will never need to go that high for resin. Normally, like I go to 60 PSI. That's what I sit on. You can do a lot of digging. Each resin's going to have different pressure specifications, but what you'll find is the retailers generally won't know what that is. So you have to contact manufacturers, and then like it can take ages. So I just do 60 PSI. That's what I sit on. So my pot's rated to 80, plenty of coverage, but you need to be careful because on eBay, a lot of them aren't rated high enough. So a lot of them are like 40 to 60. The original one they sent me was 60, so I was emailing them back saying, bullshit, I bought an 80 PSI one and got it sent out to me. So yeah. Okay, driving now, can't type. All right, Chili, we've got you, man. Who's having a beer with me? Or am I the only alcoholic drinking at 11:30? Speaking of that, I'm going to need a refill soon. Shut up, Mike. All right, so molds, mixing in pigments. Actually, Chili. Oh, you can't type. Chili, when you stop next, what is your top tip for a beginner working with resin? What would be your one tip if you could give one tip? I'm always having a beer with you. Yeah, but Mike, it's more acceptable for you, man, because it's like nighttime and shit. I'm drinking water. Dreadnought. On the hard stuff, mate. I have a pot designed for spray painting. Would this be okay, do you think? Yeah, man, that's what mine is. So you've got to do a little bit of, well, you don't have to do a little bit of modification, but to make it easier, yeah, so on the lid of the pot, there'll be a big pipe that comes down to draw the paint up. Get a grinder and cut that off. That's the main mods you have to do. And then you want to, on the top of the lid, there'll be like an input and an output. You want to block one of them off so you can just put air in and it doesn't come out. Oh, excuse me. Once that's done, you're good to go. I'm drinking water. Have you tried the SPB yet? No, I haven't, mate. I haven't. What was the name of it again? Give me the name and I'll write it down. I don't buy that much beer. Like, this is still the same carton from our last couple of lives, actually. I'm trying to buy a house, so I'm on a very strict, the whole family's on a very strict budget. And yeah, my fortnightly spend allowance isn't even enough to buy a carton of beer a week, so. Yeah, very strict on the budget. Use clear first, perfect. Perfect that before adding the colors. Yeah, see, still would, I don't know if I agree with you there. I don't know if I agree because I was actually shocked because I started using pigments straight off the bat, but I was shocked when I went to clear just how many bubbles were actually in the resin. So I find that using pigments for beginners can actually be good because it can disguise a lot of those bubbles. depending on what you're making, but like serving boards and that, yeah, like you put a pigment in it and you're not going to see any of the bubbles inside. Chili, I'm having a beer with you. Keep that quiet, mate. Don't put that on the internet. Was the editing struggle before clips moving onto the screen together when you were actually turning? That was rad, and I was going to ask how you did that. No, that wasn't the editing struggle at all, man. That was all done with keyframes on the edit screen of DaVinci Resolve. So yeah, I just sort of stacked the videos on top of each other on the timeline and then used keyframes to move them all around. If you like that style of editing, check out my first end grain chopping board video, the brickwork one, similar scene in that too. So yeah, I did that in a couple of videos actually, where I was playing around with that, but that's all using keyframes. How do you store your tool rests? It's funny that you put an S on the end of that. I'm not privileged enough to have more than one tool rest. So my tool rest is stored right there. That's where she lives, mate. It's all SP, that stands for South Pacific. South Pacific, all right, I'll write that down. See if I can find it and how much it is. YouTube doesn't pay too much, mate, so. I'm working on shop organization, looking for ideas. Yeah, I saw that. I did see that, man. One thing perhaps would be a good idea is I tend to find, right, when I take my tool rest off for sanding or whatever, it sits real nice like that, like on the bed. So perhaps setting up like a system, like a rail along the wall or something that was a similar setup where you've got the drop in the middle and you can just drop it in. That could be a good way to store. I assume you've got quite a few different tool rests, so could be a good way to store them. I'm not drinking. Yeah, right, voice to text. If you can get the bubbles out of the clear, you can perfect the colors. Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. But if you don't have a pressure pot or a vacuum pot, it's next to impossible to get all of the bubbles out unless you're using the right resin. Like this board here that has been sitting here for like the last 2 lives that I still haven't finished. That was damn packed with bubbles when I poured that in because I used an electric mixer and I just went to absolute town on it. But it was a deep pour resin. So that can go up to 50 mil deep and it's only about 20 mil. Yeah, it's only about 20 mil deep and it cures so slowly. So it took like 2 full days to cure and that's enough time for the bubbles to come to the top and disperse themselves. YouTube pays terribly. People think this is lucrative for some reason. Oh mate, I have no doubt that, you know, if I could rack in 1 million, 2 million views per video per week, I have no doubt that the pay would be good. But it's just getting to that stage. Once you're at that stage, bloody hell, like I reckon that like rappers and that these days, artists, music artists and that would make a fair chunk of their money straight from YouTube. Especially when, yeah, within 24 hours, some of those videos have got 2 to 4 million views. They'd be making a good dollar off of it. But no, for, you know, how many subs have I got on my channel at the moment? Let's have a look here. Currently sitting at 2490. So yeah, 2490 and yeah, so I mean you need hundreds of thousands of either subscribers or a shit ton of views. That's how you make your money. And from, you know, you do live streams like this and people do super chats and that sort of, and these stickers and that sort of thing. That's quite lucrative for gamers. I've been looking into as well. So gamers make a lot of money from from these live chats with people doing super chats and that sort of thing. I did a class a few years ago where I learnt to use metho to remove bubbles. A light spray over the top was enough to remove them. Yeah, so you can use metho, you can even use your mold release. You can basically use anything because all you have to do is break that surface tension. So like I use a torch to do it because I don't want to add anything to the resin. But yeah, any aerosol will basically break that surface tension and pop the bubble. Well, yeah, but we're not wood whisperer. Yeah, that's very true, man. That's very true. One day. I'll get there one day. That's my goal. Kyla, how are ya? How are ya? Kids are watching Harry Potter. Legends. ATL, the supplier of Carbatec resin, does not suggest this. What do they not suggest? Steel wood? I'm not sure. Super Chats brought me new chuck jaws one week. It was awesome. That's wicked, man. Yeah, that is wicked. Absolutely wicked. And like YouTube revenue, 100% has gone into this laptop. 100%. I put my tax return into this laptop, so YouTube revenue didn't pay for the whole thing. But 100% YouTube revenue went into this. Patreon revenue went into this. And yeah, just sales of like this board sold. That she oak with the blue marble inlay, the she oak bowl I did, that revenue went into it. So every dollar counts. Every dollar counts. And I need to buy a drone for the channel. So that's the next goal. That's what I'm aiming for next. So we're back to just trying to make products, sell. And yeah, pump the YouTube, get the revenue in through there. Do these lives. If ever anyone wants to throw in a super chat, that goes directly towards the cause. Obviously, if any of you legends want to sign up to my Patreon, you can head over there as well. There's a bunch of different benefits and stuff over there. But yeah, it all goes towards just bettering this content because as Steelwood pointed out before, he watched my first video and it was terrible. So it all goes towards improving what I'm doing here. And like, I mean, not to toot my own horn, but I think the concept, well, I know the content has improved 100%, 1,000,000% since I first started. So, using the metho method, they said not to do it that way, but they didn't say why. Yeah, my guess would be because it's a chemical reaction that goes on, and potentially the metho could interact with that. That would be my theory on why it would be no good. But yeah, that's what I would assume. That's why I use a torch, because you're not adding anything to the mix with a torch. I need to list some stuff for sale. I heard that really helps. Yeah, Dreadnought, it's got to be listed, mate. It's got to be listed. What are you selling? Like tools, or are you selling products? I'm just going to go get a beer, guys. I will be back in a second. You're also more comfortable in front of a camera. Yeah, 100%. Definitely. I thought I was comfortable in front of the camera to begin with, but certainly wasn't. All of the above: tools, products, art pieces, etc. Yeah, man. Like, have you got like an e-commerce on your website? List them on the website. Facebook Marketplace, I find, is a really good spot to do it. And you're getting to play with fire. Yes, love playing with fire. Every dollar absolutely counts. I feel super blown away every time I get dollars from people for doing this. Yeah, man, it's awesome, isn't it? Like, I absolutely love, like, I don't think I've ever done, like, had a hobby or a job or anything like that I've ever loved as much as I enjoy producing content. Like, it's so wicked. Like, I love the editing. I love the editing process. I love the filming process. I love every part of it. So it's just so good. I have an Etsy account. Yeah, man, list it on Etsy for sure. The more places you can list it, the better, really. Just spam it everywhere. Just spam that shit everywhere. So, what is on everyone's production list for this week? What do you got planned? I'm hoping to do another live next Saturday, but it's going to be rough because I'm coming off a night shift. I work Friday night, so Saturday morning I'll be coming off night shift. So I can try and sneak one in, but it'll be yeah. I don't know. We'll see how we feel. I need to learn to love editing. How do you not love editing, Mike? That's why you got to play with it, man. Like, if you like special effects and that, just get right into it. Get right into it. Now, I missed the beginning of your live, but how awesome was walking into Carbatec and seeing your video. Yeah, I was a bit like, what the hell is going on here? Because I haven't been into the Carbatec store for a while, so they've changed it around. So yeah, I walked in and I was like, that looks familiar. I was completely shocked. That pen bloke, hey man, how are you? Good to see you here. Yeah, no, I was completely shocked. And then I went over, I asked them if they had the custom grit, and they had it on the shelf. And they were like, oh, which one do you want? And they tried explaining to me how it worked. And then I was just like, nah, I got some at home. I'm all good. Oh, but I was actually going to call them today and tell them that they should put the custom grit under my videos, because most of my videos promote it. So I'll have to do that on Monday. So guys, what do you got planned for this week? I have got Sunday, Monday off, back to work Tuesday, working Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday night. Mike, you're a tosser. So, off work Saturday morning. I got mates coming over from Alice Springs on Sunday. So that's pretty much my week. So I've only really got today to try and do some content, which is a bit daunting, but I'm hoping I'm not really in the mood to shoot content, but I'm very conscious of the fact that I haven't got any ready for release now. So I do need to film some. Sorry, the internet bailed on me, had to switch to my phone. All good, man. Glad you made it back. That's awesome. You need to do a demo for them in store. Yeah, well, we'll figure that out. Definitely, yeah. If Carbatec reach out to Custom Creations saying that they want it demoed, and that when they start like really promoting it and that, I'll definitely be up for doing that. Most definitely. No one has told me what they're up to this week though. You're a bunch of makers. What are you making? Sent you the photo. I'm working on a bunch of pens. Back to work Wednesday. Ah, yes. Man, oh, I hate these. Hey, Mike, do you get these comments, right? On your projects? Oh, I think I've deleted enough of them now that YouTube just automatically classed them as spam, maybe? You can find similar projects to this on the Woodpricks website. Like, no, you can't, because I custom made this. You can use woodglut to build it in the cheapest way. Like, no, you can't do that. Bloody spam, man. I've been absolutely getting smashed with spam lately. Like, from everywhere. It's just nuts. I've got to try and convince myself to finish this lathe tool cabinet so I can move on to making resin molds. Yeah, man, get it done. Get it done. You'll feel much better once your lathe tools are like organized. I mean, mine's pretty dodgy, this thing down here, but at least I know where everything is, so it works. Resin molds are easy, man. You'll knock them out real quick as well. Are you using melamine? Are you going to use melamine? You should use melamine, definitely. Finishing some custom pen boxes. Nice, nice, that sounds good. Steel wood getting new thickness on Monday. It is finally arriving. That's exciting. That's that beastie like 15-inch thing, isn't it? Chili Man, 100 plus robe hooks. What's a robe hook? What, you're hand making robe hooks? I made baby outfits last week, delivered them this week, and physio and doctors this week hopefully released to walk and get rid of the brace. That's awesome. Nice job, Kyla. I made some baby outfits when I first started J&D Creations. I made 3 of them that went over to Oklahoma, I'm pretty sure, from memory. So that's pretty cool. I'm working on more dye wood forms. That's cool, Dreadnought. You've been pumping those out, man. They look sick. I get those BS comments too. Yeah, it's such a pain in the ass, man. Like, just go away. Should put that on silent, shouldn't I? Then making my way to see my mum and see how much timber my father actually did collect and see how good it is. Right, it would be good to catch up with your mum, man, I'm sure. Black form ply is better than melamine. Yes, I have heard that, but cost-wise, how is it cost-wise? Oh, the woodglut, etc. comments. I get great plans from something like this at Woodpricks or whatever. Yes, those comments, exactly, Mike. Exactly. I sent you pics. Yeah, I saw that, Dreadnought. Like, they look really good. Wow, that purple is striking, man. That CA finish is wicked as well. What timber are you using? That looks like a really good timber to dye. Like, it looks really nice to stain. I love that apple one. That apple one's really cool. Very nice. Very nice. So, tips, people. Tips for resin work. Dreadnought, have you got any tips? That pen bloke, have you got any tips if you work with resin at all? 2 more in there. Obviously, I will complete them if you guys don't have any ideas, but I'm interested to see what you guys think. Holly, looks like a really nice timber to stain. Like, very limited grain in it. Yeah, so, what time have we got? Nearly 12 o'clock. I've got some scrap melamine I'm going to use for forms and custom wax as mold release. Yep, nice, that will work really well. I would assume. I haven't used the custom wax, but I would assume it should work well. Let me know how you go with that, Mike. Oh, man. Be interested to know. But yeah, melamine over. I see a lot of people say, oh, just use plywood and wrap it in packing tape. Or just use bloody, oh man, mental blank. What's the other stuff? MDF. MDF and just wrap it in packing tape. I don't support that notion at all. The pink one is Magnolia. It's very nice, man. It is very nice. Use good quality resin. True, yes, that is a good point. %100% silicon. Is that to seal up your mold? Steel wood? The silicon? Right. Yeah, so I don't really have anything to show you guys that I'm working on because I haven't really been working on anything. I'm pretty sure I showed you this one. Still got to turn something out of that. I'm not sure, I might make that TikTok content possibly. I don't know if it's worth continuing the struggle with TikTok or not, because some videos do all right, I find, and then other videos barely get 100 views. So it's a very interesting platform. I certainly thought that by doing that challenge that they invited me on, that we'd get a heap more views, but that did not happen that way. I'm just seeing if I can, there's an air bubble in there. So I'm trying to use it to release this to get it out of the cup, but I don't think it's gonna work. Oh, maybe it will. There's something going on here. Oh. See if we can get it out. Have a good look at it. Mold release is a must. Yeah, definitely. I was going to include that in the my tip 1 for you. What to use for your molds. I do not know how proto putty goes with resin, but it should be okay. And as it dries flexible, it'll be easy to remove it from the mold. Yep, right. Oh, so pop bubbles. Silicone mold instead of heat. Yeah, right, so you don't use heat with the silicone molds, hey? I don't particularly use any silicone molds. Oh, no, I do use, I've got a couple of silicone molds, actually, for like the fish and that. They've all done well, they've all done all right with the heat with the torch. There we go. Got it enough to open it up. Let's have a look. Oh, we've got a couple of bubbles stuck in there. Oh, we've got a big hole on the side here that we need to fill up. So we won't turn, yeah, that won't all get turned away. Another little air trap there. Interesting though, very interesting how this turned out. I don't really know what I'm going to do with it yet. I guess we'll just have to, yeah, we'll wait and see what inspiration comes. Dry timber is a must, yes, very true. No, the silicon is an ingredient. It uses food coloring and corn flour. You could use it to make small molds for things like eggs and peplings. Proto putty. Yeah, righto. I'll write that down and have a look into that as well. I'm just going to do a couple of wood and resin serving boards to start because that seems like a good place to start. Come on, Mike, you're a turner, man. Cast a blank and turn it. That's a good place to start. The very first one I did was, it was like a rolling pin. It didn't work. It cracked. I poured it way too deep. But it was 2 bits of timber, cut in half, fill with resin in the middle. And the idea was it was going to be a rolling pin. Yeah, I have issues with torching some of them. It damages the molds. So ISO is another option. Yeah, definitely. Anything to break that surface tension. I find like the mold release as well. I see people use that all the time. Just spray a bit on the top. Anything to break that tension. Yeah. So, what are we at? 1 hour and 10. Right, we did kick off a bit early today. Let me just check that there's no bloody comments banging around anywhere. Alright, it doesn't look like we've got any comments banging around here. I did get entrapped this morning. If you guys want a sick channel to go and check out, it's sort of a maker's channel really, I guess. But they're not woodworkers or anything. But the channel is called The Outfit. Absolutely love their videos. They're like, I started watching them when I bought the Jeep. I found it through Jeep research. They basically lived out of their Jeep for like a year or so, just driving around Australia. It's a French girl and a Kiwi bloke. Lived out of their Jeep Wrangler for like a year traveling around, and they've just bought a Unimog and they're kitting that out to be like their full-time home because they want to have a kid, so they couldn't keep living out of the Jeep. But they're in the process at the moment of building like this just insane rig to live in and keep traveling the world. It's a really, really cool channel. So definitely, if you've got some free time, worth checking that out for sure. You literally told me not to do a deep pour with the epoxy I have, and nobody who watches me turn would call me a turner. Yes, but if you get yourself a pressure pot, mate, you can probably do a deep pour with it. Or just do it in layers. Literally just do it in layers. But that's all right. Do your serving board. You do you. You do you. All right? Yeah, so I don't know how much I'm going to get done in the shop again this week. It's getting a bit sad. I feel like I haven't been in here for a long time. I've got the new computer though, so I definitely need to get some content like to edit, to just test out how the editing is going to go with it. I might even try and somehow squeeze some cool special effects in. Not really sure how, but we'll get it sorted. We will get it sorted. This thing will get turned at some point as well into something. Not really sure what. But that's pretty cool at the bottom there. You see the bubbles trapped in there? I'd call you I will do me, damn it. Yeah, exactly, Mike. I'm not your dad, man. I can't tell you what to do. You do whatever you want. Maybe do some coasters. Look. Nice, thin, no chance of overheating. Very, well, exactly the same theory as a serving board. Easy to do. Use up your scraps. Chris agreed, no one would call you a turner. Almost all of my casts go in a pressure pot because I use a lot of polyurethane resin. Yeah, I would recommend a pressure pot for casting, 100%. Even use an epoxy resin. Just push, it just gives you a clearer cast and it pushes it deeper into the timber. So I'm getting there, Darren. Thanks for the support. Oh, mate, I'm not even a turner either. I don't know what the hell I'm doing here most of the time. Just literally hoping for the best. Oh, crap, Pernell's here again. He's just following you around, isn't he, Mike? So have you all checked out my 100th build video? Did you manage to catch that? That's the last bit of content I've got. I'm gonna release, well, I'll be uploading today my entry into the wood jigs, but it's nothing too fancy. I think it's, yeah, I can't even remember now. I edited it a few weeks ago. It's only a short one. It's a re-edit as well, so. But yeah, I need to get some content happening. Can hear the neighbors out there. Wonder what they're up to. All right. I'm still learning myself. You're a pro, Dreadnought. You are a pro, mate. We can all continue learning all the time though, eh? Like there is always more to learn. Always. Oh. Chili man, I can vouch for Chris. What are you vouching for him for, Chili? It's 1 AM here, bedtime. Have a good stream and make sure to make cracks at Mike where you can. I'll do my best, mate. I'll do my best. He likes to take cracks at me for not having a fridge in my shop, so I'll figure something out. $1 AM, yeah, it's 12 PM here, so we'll probably call it a day here very soon, guys. I have got plenty of work to do. I like that you went back to your roots for your 100 build. Yeah, I wanted to do, yeah, I thought that would be a good choice. I wanted to do something crazy, celebrate the 100, but then it was like, well, no, I sort of built this channel for a specific, for a specific audience, so I'll stay true to that with my 100th build. And over 100 builds, I hadn't done a pen. So I figured I should probably, yeah, take that opportunity and do that. That is a video you could do live, coasters. I'm wondering how they go in machine like a thicknesser when they're so thin. With a great deal of worry, Steelwood. I was actually just looking at this piece here. I don't know why it's sitting on my table saw. But this is from the end grain ones I did. I don't know if you'll be able to pick it up on the GoPro, but you can see that, yeah, it bounced around a bit and the teeth took a huge chunk out of it there and messed it up, so I had to cut that bit off. But yeah, it's literally always a worry putting them through. But luckily enough, sort of like my regular customers have, well, said that the coasters should be thicker anyway. So I used to do them super, super thin. But they're probably about 30 mil, 25, 30 mil now, which is safe enough. Like I don't stress too much putting them through the thicknesser now. But that's all I put them through is the thicknesser, and then I cut them up with the drop saw. Well, I sand them up first because it makes it a lot easier. Then cut them with the miter saw, and then just sand up the edges. Fans are the worst. Chili, you're back, man. I think I need to go get some lunch like you did. You can hot glue them to a piece of MDF. I certainly could do that, and I was actually thinking about making like a melamine sled for my thicknesser to reduce snipe as well. So that might be a future video. Because I am starting to get like a little bit of snipe. And I have adjusted the beds and that, but it's just not particularly, yeah. So it's still, yeah, all different timbers and that. Some I get it, some I don't. So I was thinking, and a nice melamine sled in there so that it's one platform from entry to exit might work nicely. Resin advice: use good quality resin and use the right resin for the job. Yeah, so I've got, yeah, which epoxy to use. I'll be covering that for sure. Oh, awesome question. Resin through a planer, ever a problem? Don't have a drum sander. Well, I can't say I've ever put resin through a planer, Mike. but I've certainly put it through a thicknesser before, and no problem at all. It is 1,000,000% harder on your blades though, just like glue. Glue is way harder on your blades once it's set than wood is, and resin is, yeah. So expect your blades to dull a hell of a lot faster. Really light cuts, and you should be good. You should be good. I don't have a drum sander either, man, so 2 p.m. here, going to shop soon. Yeah, man, we're going to call it a day here soon because I've got lots of other stuff I need to do as well. I don't even know really if I'm going to have time to shoot content today. Sorry, thinnizer. It's a thicknesser. Use the best resin, saves you effort and time. Yep. I do want to try the Health of Mind resin eventually. I've got to send him an email and see if he wants to sponsor a video. You need a drum sander in your workshop. I certainly do. I certainly do need a drum sander, but I don't have the money or the space at the moment. That is one machine I do not have, drum sander. I've just brought a $4,000 thicknesser. Bloody hell, man. That's crazy, eh? We spend so much on our tools. Alright, I should sit down one day and work out how much money is in this workshop. Really. Because there's a fair bit. There's a fair bit. You mean 400, not 4,000. Well, it's a 15-inch thicknesser, so if it was $400, you got a bloody good deal. Can recommend Barnes resin. They are awesome. Yeah, I reached out to Barnes, but I never heard back. He needs a fridge first. No, I'm not taking up valuable space with a fridge when I can walk inside. I aim for 10,000 steps a day, mate. That walk does me wonders. Oh, sorry, Steelwood. I thought that was Mike that commented. Lack of space never stopped me. That's true, Dreadnought, but I like having all of my stuff ready to go. I hate having to move stuff and pull stuff out. Health of Mind is great stuff, top quality. Yeah, I have heard that it's really good. I have heard. But see, the stuff I use now, I like it. It does what I need it to do. I haven't had any issues with it. So, and the Health of Mind stuff is quite expensive. Lack of money is another issue. Yeah, lack of money is a huge issue. That's okay, we're still worth sharing. Yeah, I mean, I'd absolutely love to get a CNC. Absolutely love it. There's so much I think I would benefit from having a CNC, but again, do not have the space at all. Do not have the space. Need to use the right type of resin for the type of pour. Yeah, definitely. The right style of resin is absolutely essential. Absolutely essential. So guys, I'm gonna try next. So who's available actually? Let's see if it's worth doing. Next Saturday, potentially maybe a little bit earlier, but probably around the same time as this week. Next Saturday, who's up? We can do another live. I'm coming off of nights on Friday night, Saturday morning. So I may be rooted though. But yeah, let me know if you'd be keen next Saturday. Throw another live stream in the mix. I won't have done any more projects in here probably by then though. Well, back to helping move my mate, have fun. Chili, thanks for being here, man. Enjoy moving house. I hate that. Are you using Kirkside still? It's about the same quality. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm still using Kirkside. That's interesting to know if it's the same sort of quality, because I get the Kirkside stuff a lot cheaper. Yeah, that's very interesting to know. And I don't mind the Kirkside stuff. Like, it's good. And they're a good bunch of people down there too. So shout out to Kirkside Products. If anyone's in Perth, definitely worth checking out their resin. See you later, Chili. I'll talk to you soon, man. All right, guys, I'm going to go get one last beer, and it's become a regular occurrence that these lives last for 3 beers. And this will be beer number 3. So let's wind down, throw any comments in. I know there's a bit of a lag, so while I go get a beer, throw your comments in there. If you've got any more tips, I've still got 2 tips. If I'm going to do a 5-tip video, I need 5 tips. So we've got 3 written down. What is a fortnight? Daryl, we've had this conversation, man. A fortnight is 2 weeks. A fortnight is 2 weeks. So, yeah, in a fortnight, it's not next Saturday, it's the Saturday after. It's a fortnight away. You appear to have heaps of space. Turn the camera around 360 degrees. I don't have heaps of space, though. It's a 360 degree spin. Now people say, oh yeah, but you've got all that space there. That's my only walkway. So when I lift this roller door up and I bring like all that timber in, that's my only way to get it in. I need this walkway clear because it's the walkway through. So like that's where my motorbike used to go before I sold it. But I don't want to clog that up. Already here I have in-feed issues sometimes because that bench is so close. There's no room over here. I need this space clear here so that I can work on my lathe. And then I need to be able to access that, access my dust collector to turn it on. That is probably the only space that I could redesign and potentially put something there. In saying that, I need to be able to get all the way around the bandsaw for when I'm doing different operations with that. So there's not really that much space. I'm just gonna go grab a beer. I'll be back. All right, back to it. What do we got? I can't buy a super chat from my YouTube. Oh, wow. I didn't know that, Mike. Yeah, I haven't tried. So you got to add a credit card in, do you? They owe me money and I just wanted to use $5 of it. used it for ages while living in Perth. Yeah, it's good stuff, man. It really is. And the blokes at Kirkside are really good blokes too. I would be keen. You'll be into the beers by the sounds of those shifts, yeah. No machines or tools. Pigment choice is just as important as resin choice. Yep, that's true. That is very true. To use which pigment to use as well. I have to walk through my workshop sideways because there's so much stuff in it. Compared to my workshop, you have the size of the Sahara Desert. And that's what I don't want, man. I've been in workshops like that and it's just not a pleasant place to work. Like, I know what you're saying. I could definitely cram more stuff in here, but I like to be able to move around. Like if I've got a 3 meter slab sitting on the ground over there and I can pick it up and walk it out comfortably. I can turn it around in here comfortably. I need that room. I do need that room. I don't want it to be a space that's not enjoyable to be. I asked for a set of cold jaws for my birthday, so if I get them, I won't be making a better donut than J&D's stupid one that broke video. Sorry, man. Oh, well, you know what, man? That donut chuck is actually handy even with a set of cold jaws. Like the build I did where I stabbed my finger, it would have been handy to have used that donut chuck then. Like it still has its uses, so you can still make that video and call it that. That sounds like a perfect title for it. If you had a fridge in the workshop, you wouldn't need to leave the workshop. I know this, I do know this, but there's no room for a fridge. You know I'll be here if you're live before 2 p.m. your time. And I know about it in advance. Yeah, man, well, keep an eye out on next Saturday then. Next Saturday is what we will aim for. If I'm not live by lunchtime, it's not happening. Put it that way. But I usually try and do a post like the day before. I should start doing more posts on YouTube, actually. Because that's, yeah, something that I don't often do. I am curious though, if we can jump on, how do you do your lives, Mike? You just do them straight from your phone, don't you? I now have a CNC and I'm really loving it. Check out Blue Carve. I think I've heard of Blue Carve. I'll write that down though. Yes, I really want a CNC, but just don't have the floor space for it at the moment, unfortunately. But it'd be really cool to get some people onto these lives, like guest stars kind of thing, you know what I mean? Like guest stars, guests. Like, I'm pretty sure, isn't it like if I just give you guys, like if I gave someone my stream key, would that allow them to jump in and do that? A fortnight, right? No, Dreadnought, no, next Saturday, man. Like in a week Saturday. In a fortnight Saturday, I'll be working, so I won't be able to do these live streams then for 4 weeks. I mean, I can do them, but they have to be on a different day. They won't be able to be on Saturday. So yeah, in a week. It's Australian made. Yeah, righto. I'll have to look into it and see what I can find. Did your finger heal okay? No, it did not, man. I'm seeing physio at the moment and I have to start seeing OT as well. But it's still quite numb, feels very weird. I don't use it very much. I mean, it's slowly recovering. I'm slowly getting feeling back, but it's still completely numb all around here and I still can't like fully close it. I'm getting a lot more movement in it, but just working with the physio and I've got to start working with the OT soon as well. Yeah, I do everything from my phone. It's just easiest. Easiest isn't always best, is it, Mike? Justin's Resin, don't give your stream key out. No, I'm not going to give it out now, but I mean, isn't that what, like if I want someone to jump on this live with me and have like a split screen or whatever, isn't the stream key what they need to be able to do that? Next Saturday is a half fortnight. Fucking hell. Oh no, a half fortnight. I might start saying that and see if people look at me like I'm an idiot. But you hit the nail on the head. Yes, next Saturday is a half fortnight, or as most people call it, a week. That means they would stream instead of you, and yes, granted, they may not do anything bad, but anything could happen. It's hidden for a reason. Oh, right, okay. Well, so how do you do a shared stream then? I thought you shared the stream key. That's interesting. I don't know how to do it. So we're looking like we are on par for next Saturday, guys. No, easiest is not always best, but it's easiest. Yes, very true, very true. I must admit, I do like streaming through the GoPro because it frees up my phone. So I can still do stuff with my phone while I'm streaming. I've got all the mounting gear, like the tripod. Actually, you can probably get real weird here and actually like have a look at its own tripod. Yeah, there we go. See, tripod and everything is like all ready to go. So that's why I like using the GoPro. Whoa, and we just lost ya. Sorry, I use magnets on this GoPro, on this tripod as well. The snap mount kit, really good. Really nice and easy to switch it around. But that, yeah, frees up the phone for when I need to share some stuff. It's just showing me that now. That's what the lag is. And it's actually, yeah, really super easy when you just use the app to do that. But I don't know how you sort of pair up because you're not using like a program. So you can get my text during your lives. Yes, I can, Dreadnought. I have the phone free. We should totally figure out a way to do a joint stream. It would be a fun show. Yeah, man, we need to, that's what I mean. We need to figure it out. And that's why I wasn't sure. Like there's a program, Dreadnought, I think, Daryl, you put me onto it. Is it OBS or something? I'm assuming like you need like a program like that where you can sort of throw them both in. I cut my right ring finger with an angle grinder 4 years ago. I have less feeling on the side of the finger now, but it doesn't bother me though. That's good, man. That's good. See, the problem I'm facing is because it's like your index finger, so it's your main finger, and this finger supplies the strength to that hand. So like if that finger's weak, the rest of your grip strength is actually weak as well, all because like this is like the lead finger. So yeah. But watching all the streams I do, they make it a big thing about sharing stream keys, but they may share it with friends. I'm not sure, but yeah, might be the way, not sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure when I was using, like that very first live stream I did for 1,000 viewers, after 1,000 subs, I was using OBS and I had to share the stream key from YouTube into that. So it mirrored it and so I could use that program. But I have plenty of scars and injuries to my fingers from my trade, but they all work. I've been lucky. Yeah, man, I've got a fair few as well. It's all part and parcel of the job, isn't it? All right, guys. Well, I'm going to call it there. Any last comments? Throw them in right now. I'll give you 30 seconds because there's a bit of a lag. But chuck them in there. Otherwise, I will be back on in a week. Oh, are we back? It just said connection lost. Let me know if we're back. I'm not sure. If you start saying half a fortnight, you might need to move to America. They use imperial system over there in fractions. Oh, that's true. I'm so going to start saying half fortnight. That will confuse the shit out of people. All right, I'm assuming we are still live. I'm assuming that connection lost has fixed itself. Still there. Yeah, awesome. Thanks, man. So, guys, we'll leave this here. It's been fun. What's 3/8 of a fortnight? Like 5.5 days, and yours was below the last joint. 3/8 of a fortnight. Mate, I am not even going to figure that out. It is such a backwards way of measuring. 5.5 days. 4. No, I'm going to work this out. I am actually going to work this out. I actually don't know how to work this out. Times 3. So it's 5.25. Yes, 5.25. 5.5 days. So you were close, Mike. You were close. It's 5.25 days. Metric all the way, Kyla. Metric all the way. Most definitely. Cannot stand Imperial. All right, legends. Next week, be here. We'll have some beers. Have a yarn. I probably will not have achieved much. 5 days and 6 hours. It was a joke about Imperial measurements and he's doing the calculation. That's awesome. Yes, I had to know. 3/8 of a fortnight is 5.25 days. Most pen makers in the US use metric. Metric just makes so much more sense. I had an argument with some American YouTuber about this, and he was proper defending Imperial, and I was just like, mate, it's backwards. It's not the best. All right, guys. Next Saturday. Make sure you tune in. Let some people know. Let's get some more people involved. Like here, anyone who enjoys having a chat. I don't think there's anyone here from Perth Beards of Perth, I should say. But I did post up there to see if anyone wanted to jump on. I don't think anyone has. But yeah, anyone you know enjoys a bit of a chat, a yarn, needs a bit of advice, anything like that. I mean, I've been doing this a little while. There's certainly people out there who know a lot more than me. But I'm willing to help out where I can. That's why they have such an issue with COVID. They can't figure out the ratio of the population, has it? Very true, very true. All right, guys. I need to open up this app to stop the stream. I do this every week, don't I? We're going to have to move the day after the next one, but we can talk about that next time. All right, guys. Until next time, stay safe. Look after yourself.